Welcome to East Tennessee Pinball. Today I want to show off this bulb tester a buddy of mine made for me. It's really pretty cool. I use it all the time. USB powered. So USB, in case you don't know, it's 5 volt. It's got 4 wires. It's got a positive, it's got a negative. It's got 2 data cables. Obviously, I'm not going to communicate with the bulb, so my buddy, he just tucked those underneath there nicely. Put a couple of stress reliefs on there. That sucker's not going anywhere. He's got 4 bulb sockets, 2 for the 44, 47 type. They're screwed down. All the small sides of them are stapled. And a couple of 555s. These things are always like kind of wiggly. If you've ever tried to put a bulb inside of a pop bumper socket with those in there where they're not really supported either way, they're real wiggly. So he put some hot glue in there so they're rigid. Even when it's far as, I think probably put a piece of tape on there. It looks like they put a form basically. So it's very well done is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to plug this in and kind of show you some of the difference in some of these bulbs. Okay, I just plugged that in. So the bulbs are made for 6 volts, but they'll operate fine on 5 volts. They won't be quite as bright, but we'll be able to see the differences of them. I've got a bunch of Comet bulbs here mostly, and some other ones. Here's Comet. I'll stick it in there. And here's some, I'll try to find something that's not a Comet. Here's something that says PB Plus on it. I have no idea. Actually, looks pretty close. This one's a little bit darker. Let me find something else here. Here's one that says CTPR. I have no idea what that is. That one looks significantly not as bright, and it's also kind of bluish greenish. But the value of this tool like this, you get all these. I get all these bulbs. You know, I'm taking them out, swapping them, and I get piles of like unmarked bulbs, and I don't know what they are, what they go with, and depending on what you're doing, you don't want to put 2 bulbs like that together in a machine. And that's why my buddy came up for this and gave it to me. It's like I use it all the time. It's also a good just bulb checker, even for just like an incandescent bulb. You real quickly want to. Usually, I'm talking about the can style 44s, and just throw them in there real quick, and you're good to go. By the way, just as kind of a note on these 555 style, a lot of times you plug them in, they won't work, and usually the problem is these wires are. It's kind of a design problem, I think. The wires are a little too far inboard. If you look closely, how close those wires are to the center of. Let me zoom y'all in a little bit. There. How close those wires are to the center of the electrode there. All they have to do is just jump a little bit to the inside, and one of them can pop off the electrode, and it's not going to work anymore. So the way to overcome that is to basically take these electrodes and push them outboard like that. Both of them. It's okay if they hang out. So that way when you stick it in there, it's going to make contact. It's already touching. And that's a real simple fix when you're trying to populate a game with LEDs and you're having trouble getting them to make contact. It's a systematic problem as far as I'm concerned. I mean, in fact, in a lot of games, I'll do that every time I put in one of these bulbs. I'll do like that and like that for every single one before I even try to stick it in the socket, especially if it's some socket that's hard to get to, because the last thing you want to do, like the ones where they have the twist sockets, put it in there and you got to like monkey your fingers up in there and get it in there, and then it doesn't work and you got to try to pull it out again. You definitely want to do this. It's insurance. Let's look at some of these purple bulbs. I've got a variety of different purple bulbs. I kind of like purple bulbs, so anyway. So here's one. I don't know where these things came from. They came out of some game somewhere. It's not super bright. Oh my gosh, see, that one has like no brightness. I can't even, if I get right above it, and it's more blue than purple. But neither one of them are really great. Let's put in here's a purple incandescent. It's kind of reddish purple, but I do like to use these incandescent bulbs if you're going to be looking at the bulb like a bulb that's flashing and say shoot at me like it's above the play field, like on Demolition Man or something like that. Or a lot of these games will have a bulb, or Rudy's got his little window up there with all his lights and telling you to shoot at them. I really like the incandescent bulbs for features like that. Here's these are both Comet bulbs here. That's the purple. It's really more pink than purple. I mean, it's purplish, but it's kind of pink. So they also have what they call their purple passion. It's very purple, but it's not very bright. So it's kind of a compromise. These look rich purple under a white insert. They will, if you want to turn them something purple, you really can. But anyway, cool little tool, something probably anybody can make. And pretty valuable. If you got a bunch of old bulbs laying around, you want to see what they are without having to plug them in a game, you can do this on the bench. And you really, if you got a bunch of bulbs, you can just sort them out pretty quickly. Anyway, hope you liked the video. If you do, click the like button and go ahead and subscribe. Adios.